My name is CG and I'm from NTT BYD. Today I would like to have a little bit of a chat with you about a plug-in hybrid Bakkie which is called the BYD Shark 6. Now this is a 1.5 petrol engine that is run by two electric motors. It's the first plug-in hybrid that is in South Africa. Now the first thing that I want to address is yes, we are in a country where everybody wants to drive a 3-litre diesel or a 2.5 or a 2.8 diesel engine, which obviously is the norm nowadays and everybody is set on this. But my advice to you today is don't sleep on this Bakkie, because there's a lot of features that this thing comes with, and especially the power is where it is accelerating at. When we start off, this is generally not a ugly Bakkie. It's really something different. If you have a look at anything that's on the market right now, this is something exquisite. I love the design of the lights, that C shape. It still gives you that United States truck vibe. It has a very big pillar here in the front with the BYD that is shaped and looks you right in the face. Now again, if we take a look at the 3-litre and the 2.8s, everybody's like, yes, the power output is quite impressive, but for a 1.5 petrol engine, this thing kicks out 320 kilowatts and 650 Newton meters of torque. Now that's a lot of power. I mean, it kicks out that power, taking you from 0 to 100 in 5.7 seconds. And not to brag, but we had a little bit of an agriculture drag race this weekend, which was a quarter mile, whereby we really give a good hiding to a Ford Raptor. So if you have a look at whatever is in the market now that will compete with this Bakkie, it's gonna have to be your VW 3-litre Amarok or your Raptor. And if you have a look at those things, they all have a price tag that's well above 200,000 more than this Bakkie is currently at. And another thing that I want to bring up about this vehicle as well is the fact that it is a PHEV. So everybody nowadays is so consumed by the amount of petrol that they are spending. I mean, if you look at the Ford now, you are spending over 2,000 Rand a month, plus minus more a month, depending on how much you drive. Whereby this thing is definitely going to give a shine to it. If you have a look now, you have 85 kilometers for free basically if you drive it in EV mode. Now how this vehicle works is you have two different driving modes. You have EV and then you also have HEV. If you put this vehicle in EV, all you're going to be using is the blade battery that the vehicle is equipped with. If you put it in HEV, it will use the 1.5 petrol engine that is inside this bonnet that will then again power both your electric motors and then pull energy from the battery. But your 1.5 petrol engine is basically never giving power to your wheels. It's only acting as a generator in your Bakkie. So the moment when your vehicle reaches a certain percentage or it needs to kick out a little bit more power, your engine will come on and then you will hear a little bit of a gedreun, like they say, but don't be worried, it's still a PHEV. The engine itself really isn't going to give power to your wheels. It is only your electric motors, and that is where you save money. Now with the diesel prices and the petrol prices being so low at this time, if you have a look now, the vehicle has an 85 range on the EV alone, like I mentioned beforehand. Now how many of you guys commute more than 50 to 60 kilometers in town, going to school, picking up children, taking hubby to work, or husband or wife, whoever? You are not going to drive more than 85 kilometers if you're just commuting in town. In that sense, you are going to save money in the long run on a fuel tank, because you're going to fuel it up once a month and then keep on charging the vehicle when you are at home using your granny charger or your wall-mounted charger. While keeping the vehicle at a certain level of charge, you are going to save money in terms of fuel consumption. Right, so the Shark 6 comes out with some few features that is standard, which you need to buy on certain Bakkies as well. Like if you take a look over here, we do have the roll bar that comes out standard, pre-fitted already on the Bakkie. Inside your Bakkie, there's also a tow bar, which you will just slide in and then just activate when you need to do distances where you need to pull a trailer. You have very nice 18-inch Continentals there. It's not all terrain for now, but obviously obviously it comes out with tires. A running board that you can see right there, which is nice and sturdy. I've driven a lot of bakkies in my life, and I have to say sometimes it feels like the thing wants to give away there, but this is nice and solid. Another feature that I do really appreciate on the Shark 6 is the fact that the tailgate has a nice feature. You can open it from either inside the vehicle from your key, or here at the back by pressing it twice. Now, if you're like me, my wife is not very strong enough, so this is a very nice feature just to open it off so she doesn't hurt her arm or something when she needs to load something at the back. Whilst the thing is open here, I just wanted to let you guys know that the loading capacity of this bakkie is going to be 825, and it has a towing capacity braked of 2.5 tons. You have two 6 kilowatt 3-point plug power outlets here, so which is perfect for camping, or when you have power outage at home, you plug in here. You can use the vehicle because it does come with vehicle to low, so meaning you can use the bakkie as an inverter at your house, or when you are camping to just give power to your tools. Then if you have a look over there, there is a light inside the vehicle here as well, which is activatable by pressing the button. So when you have a canopy or something on at the back, which I think is very nice because it gets dark inside, because you can see it's also already rubberized now with a canopy, and today's canopy, which is aluminium and normally closed without windows. It's very nice to have a feature that can give you some illumination inside the bakkie. Just makes working with this vehicle much easier itself. A little unknown feature about the BYDs is that they do come out with the NFC, which is a virtual key that you can activate onto your cell phone. Now that means you don't need to drive with your key on your person at all times. What does need to be with you is your cell phone. So what you do is you will have a BYD application on your phone which is synced to the NFC, which you can then tap onto your mirror here, and then the vehicle will unlock, and then you can also start it for yourself. Another feature that is great on the BYD is the BYD app. Now if you're like me, I like being lazy, especially in the winter mornings. I still lay in my bed, switch on my app, go to my vehicle settings, switch on the aircon, put it to the high, and just lay in bed, and when I'm done, I climb into my warm car, nice and tasty, on my way to work. Inside the BYD Shark 6, it really gives you that rugged feeling. I mean, if you just take a look inside, you have this aviation style cluster setup over here that gives you a wide variety of features that you can activate and control from your center console. It really feels like it's a Boeing about to take up. That's hence why you have these handlebars right here that will keep you mounted when you are going from 0 to 105.7 seconds, eh? So everything in this vehicle has a nice soft touch to it, hey? And it has this premium leather material that you really feel that it is value for money. It gives you a luxurious SUV feeling. It also comes out with a 10.5 heads-up display, as well as a 12.5 crisp infotainment system that also has a very nice party trick which you can always use to impress your friends. If they like the Ford layout, I also have the Ford layout in my BYD Shark 6, eh? Inside the Shark 6, you also have 3 different driving modes. You do have your Eco, Standard and Sport. Obviously, when you want to save some fuel, you drive in Eco, and when you want to show off to your friends, you put it in Sport. The mode you can control via using this little roller shutter over here, and then you also have terrain modes. Now, this bakkie has a few different modes that it can drive with. We also have sand, we have mud, mountain, snow, and then we're back to sand again. Now, these features is there to increase your capabilities when you are off-roading, given the fact that this is an all-wheel drive vehicle which does not have a diff lock. You do need to have an additional help with the terrain modes to accommodate that smooth off-roading capability. Apart from all of the modes and the terrain modes that you have, you also have a multifunctioning steering wheel, which comes obviously with the volume control. You can answer and decline phone calls. A nice thing as well is you have a button that will activate the voice commands, but you don't really need that. You can just say, "Hi BYD." And there she goes, which you then can use to give her some instructions like close my windows, put on the aircon, stuff like that. It's really, really nice to have. It makes your life a lot easier. So the BYD Shark 6 comes out with intelligent cruise control, which means you can set the distance that you want the vehicle to follow the vehicle in front of you. It uses the sensors in front and uses your camera system at both sides, which will keep your vehicle in lane and also keep you having a safe distance in front of you. This is extremely helpful, especially in the bumper-to-bumper traffic that you will experience in town. So at the back, the BYD Shark 6 is basically like your modern standard luxury bakkies in the market now as well. You do have 2 aircon vents, which is adjustable here at the back. We have a lot of space here. I'm sitting quite comfortably. I have a lot of headrest as well. I'm not the tallest guy there is out there, but I'm sitting comfortably. It's the same space that I used when I was sitting at the front, right? So some things that I would also like to point out is you have a little bit of a slot here whereby you can put in your cell phone. It's not the biggest one, but it is something that you can use. At the bottom side here, we have 2 USB and USB-C type, which is nice in today's time because you don't know who's using USB 1 and use USB 2. We also have a straight running surface here at the back, which gives you a little bit more leg room. You don't have that hump here in the middle, which I think is very nice, especially in a bakkie like this today. All right, so then at the back seat, you also have your ISOFIX mountings, which will then help you mount your baby seat onto the chassis in the event of an accident. You know that their lives are safe, which is always important. And to top it all off, you do have your cup holders and your armrest here for your passengers at the back, which will make their life nice and comfortable. Alright, so looking at the back of this bakkie, if you look at your average bakkie now in South Africa, they use a spring suspension system or a leaf suspension system. The BYD takes a different approach. So what they use is a dual wishbone suspension system, which gives this bakkie a very nice, luxurious ride, especially over bumps and potholes, obviously in South Africa, which will make your driving experience just that much smoother and easier. Another thing that I would like to point out is if you want to pour in fuel into your vehicle, this is where your fuel cap is. And if you follow me, I will quickly show you to where you can find the electric charging unit. Alright, so having a look inside here, it is the same. You have your AC charger, which you can then use to charge your vehicle with your granny charger or your wall-mounted charger that does come standard with your BYD. And then when you want to charge your vehicle at a charging station, you do have your DC charger, which is your direct current charger, which will then in essence charge your vehicle in full within a maximum of 45 minutes while you are enjoying your grocery shopping or your wimpy burger, whatever you're doing that day. So let's see how this vehicle performs on the gravel road. One thing I would like to point out is the vehicle is very soft. So obviously you don't hear the rumbling of an engine inside of the bonnet, but with the noise vibration technology that they've implemented inside of the vehicle, you really have a very soft cabin experience. With my window, both windows are open. So I've been driving the vehicle now for a while on the off-road, and I have to say I'm really impressed with the way that it's been handling the terrain. I haven't even done any of the terrain modes as of yet. As you can just see, I'm just driving in the normal standard mode, but the vehicle is really handling it impressively, I have to say. We're going through a little bit of mud here. There we go. And we are out. Didn't even have to do any adjustments on the terrain setting there. I'm still driving in normal, and I went through a little bit of a water slope there. Let's see, this is quite impressive. All right. So, I've done a lot of commuting in town. I have to say, it's driving better off-road than it's doing in town, eh? And what is the verdict? All right, so the $1 million question is, it's actually not $1 million. It's $989,900. So come, have a look. Come test drive the vehicle. Let's have a drive, and then you guys can make up your own mind about which bakkie in South Africa is going to be the next king. If you want to live a nice life here in Bloemfontein, sorry, I think it's very nice, especially in a bakkie like this today. Oh, no, ek vergeet van. Alright, and then you also have your cup holders here, which is nice. You have 2 inside here for you. Ek raak nou uit woorde uit. Kom ons probeer hom weer. So let's have a look at this. Only say bad boy name.